Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you're there? Or maybe you found yourself struggling to recall a name or a word that's right on the tip of your tongue. If you're nodding along, you're not alone. That frustrating haze we call brain fog can creep up as we age, making it harder to stay sharp, focused, and confident in our daily lives. But here's the good news, it doesn't have to be that way. What if I told you there's a simple 60-second ritual you can do anywhere, anytime, to clear that fog and feel mentally crisp again? Sounds almost too good to be true, right? Well, stick with me, because I'm going to walk you through exactly how it works and why it's a game changer for anyone over 60. I remember talking to my friend Margaret, who's 68 and as vibrant as ever. She used to complain about feeling scattered, like her thoughts were wading through molasses. She'd misplace her glasses, forget appointments, and feel drained by mid-afternoon. But then she started using this 60-second ritual, and it was like someone flipped a switch in her brain. She's back to her quick-witted self, juggling her book club, gardening, and even learning Spanish online. And the best part? It's not some complicated routine or expensive supplement. It's practical, free, and something you can start doing today. In this video, we're going to dive into this 60-second ritual, step by step, and explore why it works so well for clearing brain fog. I'll also share a few extra habits you can pair with it to keep your mind sharp and your energy high. By the time we're done, you'll have a toolbox of simple strategies to feel more alert, focused, and ready to tackle your day. Whether you're misplacing your keys more often than you'd like, or just want to stay as sharp as you were in your 50s, this is for you. So, let's get started with the first piece of the puzzle. Understanding what brain fog really is and why this ritual is so effective. Brain fog isn't a medical condition, but it's a term we all recognize. It's that feeling of mental sluggishness, like your brain is running at half speed. You might feel forgetful, have trouble concentrating, or just feel off. For many of us over 60, it can be triggered by things like stress, poor sleep, or even what we eat. As we age, our brains naturally slow down a bit. Neurons don't fire as quickly, and blood flow to the brain can decrease. But here's the key. We can counteract those changes with the right habits. That's where this 60-second ritual comes in. It's designed to give your brain a quick boost of oxygen, calm your nervous system, and reset your focus. Think of it like hitting the refresh button on your computer when it starts lagging. So, what is this magical ritual? It's a combination of deep breathing, gentle movement, and a mindfulness trick that takes just 1 minute. Let's break it down, starting with the breathing part, because this is the foundation. Deep breathing is like giving your brain a big gulp of fresh air. Our brains use about 20% of the body's oxygen, and as we age, we tend to take shallower breaths without even realizing it. This can starve our brains of the oxygen it needs to function at its best. The first step of the ritual is to take 5 slow deep breaths. Here's how you do it. Sit comfortably, place one hand on your belly, and inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 4. Feel your belly rise as you fill your lungs, then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. Do this 5 times, and you'll notice your mind starting to clear almost immediately. I tried this myself a few weeks ago when I was feeling overwhelmed planning a family gathering. My thoughts were all over the place. Did I order enough food? Did I invite everyone? 5 deep breaths later, I felt calm and focused, like I could tackle my to-do list with ease. It's amazing how something so simple can make such a big difference, and the science backs it up. Deep breathing increases oxygen flow to the brain, lowers stress hormones, and activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps you relax and think clearly. For Margaret, this was the first step that got her hooked. She started doing it every morning, and it became her secret weapon for staying sharp. Now, let's add the second part of the ritual. Gentle movement. After your 5 deep breaths, stand up and do a quick 20-second stretch. Nothing fancy, just reach your arms up toward the ceiling, Then slowly bend forward to touch your toes, or as far as you comfortably can. If mobility is an issue, you can do this seated by gently rolling your shoulders or stretching your arms out to the sides. The goal is to get your blood flowing. Movement, even for just a few seconds, pumps oxygen-rich blood to your brain and releases endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that lift your mood. Studies show that even light activity can improve cognitive function, especially in older adults. I love doing this stretch when I've been sitting too long, like after reading or watching TV. It's like waking my brain up from a nap. When I shared this with my neighbor Tom, who's 72, he was skeptical. He's not one for exercise, and he thought it sounded too simple to work. But he gave it a try, pairing the breathing and stretch during his morning coffee break. A week later, he told me he felt more alert and was even remembering where he parked his car without wandering the lot. It's not about doing a full workout. It's about small, intentional movements that tell your brain, hey, let's get going. This combination of breathing and stretching takes about 40 seconds, leaving us with one final piece of the ritual, which we'll get to in a moment. Before we move on, let me tell you why this ritual is so perfect for our age group. As we get older, our brains can get stuck in a rut, especially if we're dealing with stress, medications, or just the wear and tear of daily life. This 60-second ritual is like a mini reset, helping you break that cycle of fog and frustration. It's quick enough to fit into even the busiest day, and you don't need any special equipment or skills. Plus, it's something you can do discreetly, whether you're at home, in the grocery store, or waiting at the doctor's office. The key is consistency. Doing it once feels great, but making it a habit can transform how you feel every day. Now that we've covered the breathing and movement parts of the ritual, let's talk about the final 20 seconds, the mindfulness trick that ties it all together. This is where the magic really happens, and it's so simple, you'll wonder why you haven't been doing it all along. So, we've got our deep breathing and gentle movement down, and now it's time to wrap up the 60-second ritual with the final piece. A quick mindfulness trick that seals the deal. This last part takes just 20 seconds, but it's like the cherry on top, helping your brain lock in that clarity and focus. Here's what you do. After your 5 deep breaths and your stretch, close your eyes for a moment and picture something that makes you feel calm and happy. It could be a peaceful place, like a quiet beach with waves lapping at the shore, or a memory, like laughing with your grandkids at a family picnic. Hold that image in your mind for 10 seconds, letting yourself feel the warmth and joy of it. Then, for the last 10 seconds, say to yourself, my mind is clear and I'm ready for my day. Say it out loud if you're alone, or just think it if you're in public. That's it, you're done. I know this might sound a little woo-woo at first, but hear me out. This mindfulness step works because it shifts your brain's focus from stress or distraction to something positive and grounding. When we're feeling foggy, our minds often get caught in a loop of worry or clutter. Did I lock the door? What's for dinner? Visualizing something joyful interrupts that cycle and gives your brain a moment to reset. Plus, that simple affirmation, my mind is clear and I'm ready for my day, is like giving yourself a pep talk. It's a signal to your brain that you're in control and ready to move forward. I started doing this after a friend suggested it, and I was amazed at how it helped me shake off that mid-morning slump. I picture my favorite spot by the lake near my house, and it's like my brain says, okay, let's do this. My friend, Susan, who's 65, loves this part of the ritual. She told me she visualizes her garden in full bloom with all the roses and tulips she's spent years tending. She says it not only clears her mind, but also lifts her mood, especially on tough days. And the science is on our side here. Studies show that even brief moments of positive visualization can reduce stress and improve cognitive performance, especially for older adults. It's like a mini vacation for your brain, and pairing it with the breathing and movement makes the whole ritual a powerhouse for clearing brain fog. The best part? You can tweak it to fit you. If picturing a beach isn't your thing, maybe it's your cozy living room or a memory of dancing at your daughter's wedding. Whatever feels good works. Now that you've got the full 60-second ritual, 5 deep breaths, a quick stretch, and a moment of mindfulness, you're probably wondering how to make it stick. It's one thing to try it once, but turning it into a habit is where the real magic happens. One trick is to tie it to something you already do every day. For example, I do mine right after brushing my teeth in the morning. It's like a signal that my day is starting, and it sets the tone for everything else. You could do it before your morning coffee, while waiting for the kettle to boil, or even during a commercial break while watching your favorite show. The key is to pick a moment that feels natural, so it becomes as automatic as putting on your glasses. Another tip is to start small. If 60 seconds feels like too much at first, try 30 seconds, just the breathing and a quick shoulder roll. Once you feel the difference, you'll want to add the rest. I shared this with my cousin Bob, who's 70 and always on the go. He was worried he wouldn't have time, but he started doing just the breathing part while sitting in his car before heading into the grocery store. Now he does the full ritual a couple of times a day, and he swears it's why he's acing his weekly bridge games. It's all about finding what works for you and building from there. But the ritual isn't the only tool in our toolbox. To keep brain fog at bay, there's another habit that pairs beautifully with it: staying hydrated. I know, you've heard this a million times, but let me tell you why it's so important for your brain. Especially as we get older, our brains are about 75% water, and even mild dehydration can make you feel sluggish, forgetful, and irritable. As we age, our sense of thirst can weaken, so we might not realize we're dehydrated until brain fog sets in. A study I read about found that older adults who drank enough water performed better on memory and attention tests than those who didn't. It's like oil for your car engine. Your brain needs it to run smoothly. Here's how to make hydration easy. Keep a water bottle nearby and take small sips throughout the day. You don't have to chug a gallon. Just aim for 6 to 8 glasses, including things like herbal tea or even watery fruits like watermelon. I started carrying a colorful water bottle that my granddaughter gave me, and it's a fun reminder to drink more. If plain water bores you, add a slice of lemon or a sprig of mint. My friend Linda, who's 67, swears by cucumber water. She says it makes her feel fancy, and it keeps her sipping all day. Try tying your hydration to the 60-second ritual. After your mindfulness moment, take a big sip of water. It's a simple way to stack habits and keep your brain humming. One last thing about hydration: don't wait until you're thirsty. By the time you feel parched, your brain is already running on low. I learned this the hard way during a hot summer day when I was out gardening. I felt so foggy I could barely remember what I was planting. A glass of water and a few minutes of rest, and I was back to myself. It's a small change, but it's one of those things that makes you think, why didn't I do this sooner? So, keep that water bottle close, and your brain will thank you. Now that we've got the ritual and hydration in our arsenal, there's another habit that can take your mental clarity to the next level. It's something you're probably already doing without realizing how powerful it is for your brain. So, we've got our 60-second ritual, deep breathing, a quick stretch, and that mindfulness moment, paired with the habit of staying hydrated to keep our brains running smoothly. But there's another powerful tool you're probably already using without realizing just how much it can boost your mental clarity: social connection. I know life can get busy, and sometimes it's tempting to keep to ourselves, especially if we're feeling a bit foggy or low on energy. But spending even a few minutes connecting with others can work wonders for your brain. Let me tell you about my friend George, who's 71. He used to spend most of his days alone, reading or tinkering in his garage. He'd complain about feeling sluggish and forgetting little things, like where he put his toolbox. Then he joined a local coffee group that meets once a week, and it was like someone turned the lights back on in his mind. He's sharper, happier, and even started telling jokes again. Why does this work? Talking to others, whether it's a quick chat with a neighbor or a longer catch-up with a friend, stimulates your brain in ways that nothing else can. It's like a workout for your mind. Engaging in conversation forces you to think on your feet, recall memories, and process new information. Studies show that social interaction can improve cognitive function and even lower the risk of memory problems as we age. Plus, it boosts your mood, which helps clear that mental haze. You don't need to be the life of the party or have a packed social calendar. Even small moments of connection, like calling a family member or waving to the mail carrier, can make a difference. Here's how to make it easy. Try adding one social moment to your day. It could be as simple as striking up a conversation with someone at the grocery store or texting a friend to share a funny memory. I started making a point to call my sister every Sunday afternoon, and those 10-minute chats leave me feeling so refreshed. It's like I've had a nap. If you're not sure where to start, think about something you enjoy, like gardening, reading, or even watching old movies, and find a group or club that shares your interest. My neighbor Ellen, who's 69, joined a book club at her library, and she says the lively discussions keep her mind sharp and give her something to look forward to. Pair this with your 60-second ritual. Maybe do the ritual before a phone call to feel extra focused, and you've got a recipe for a clear, vibrant mind. Now, let's talk about one more habit that ties all of this together: getting enough rest. I know, it sounds obvious, but sleep is like the secret sauce for banishing brain fog. As we get older, our sleep patterns can change. Maybe you're waking up earlier, or it takes longer to fall asleep. But even mild sleep deprivation can make your brain feel like it's wading through quicksand. I learned this the hard way, a few months ago, when I stayed up too late binge-watching a new show. The next day, I could barely string a sentence together, and I kept forgetting what I was saying mid-conversation. A good night's sleep, and I was back to normal. The trick is to prioritize sleep like it's an appointment. Aim for 7 to 8 hours a night, and try to stick to a consistent schedule, even on weekends. Little things can help, like keeping your bedroom cool and dark, avoiding screens an hour before bed, and maybe sipping a cup of chamomile tea. I started winding down with a short bedtime routine, doing the breathing part of our 60-second ritual, while lying in bed, and it's like a signal to my body that it's time to rest. If you're still feeling foggy during the day, a short 20-minute nap can be a lifesaver. My friend Carol, who's 66, swears by her afternoon power nap to recharge her brain for the rest of the day. Just don't nap too late, or it might mess with your nighttime sleep. So let's bring it all together. You've got this incredible 60-second ritual, 5 deep breaths, a gentle stretch, and a mindfulness moment that you can do anytime, anywhere, to clear brain fog instantly. Pair that with staying hydrated, connecting with others, and getting enough rest, and you're giving your brain everything it needs to stay sharp and focused. These aren't big, overwhelming changes. They're small, doable steps that fit into your life, no matter how busy you are. I think about Margaret, who went from feeling scattered to thriving, or George, who found his spark again just by chatting with friends over coffee. These habits work because they're simple, practical, and backed by science, but more importantly, they make you feel good. As you start trying these out, pay attention to how you feel. Maybe you'll notice you're remembering names more easily, or you're not searching for your keys as often. Those little wins add up, and they're proof that you're taking charge of your health and happiness. I'd love to hear how it goes for you. Drop a comment below and let me know if you've tried the 60-second ritual or which habit you're excited to start. Your story might inspire someone else watching this video, and that's what this community is all about, lifting each other up. If you found this helpful, give the video a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more people who might need a boost. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more tips on living your best life at any age. You're not just getting older, you're getting wiser, stronger, and more vibrant every day. So, keep shining, keep trying new things, and here's to a clear mind and a joyful heart. I'll see you in the next video.